meeting.
Oh.
Yeah. So I told them I'll record the Zoom meeting and then I can upload it to the Canvas site after it goes through YouTube so it can be captioned. And that way everybody can have the same access. So we'll do that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
So am I being recorded right now?
Yes.
What beauty.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Welcome to everybody. It's you know, one of the things about having a Zoom meeting for an online class is that if you have a class of 70 or however many, you know, that might be overwhelming to see online. I've been doing a lot of different kinds of town hall and webinar meetings for my union, and we have about 100 people come. So it's a pretty big group. But we meet like this, and people, you know, in this particular time period, people really like to see each other because all of live theater has stopped. There is no live theater production. There's no television and motion picture production. People can't go back to work because of COVID-19. So, and we'll talk about that. Think about how COVID-19 has interrupted your life, and are you still staying at home, or have you gone back to work, or is somebody in your family affected by it, or, you know, how are you managing? I've been pretty much mostly at home and not really doing a lot of other things except grocery shopping, walking the dog every day, which is a saving grace because he's a big dog. You might see him. Let's see. When he'll show up and you'll see his his nose stick at us. But you know, it's an interesting time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I was supposed to be in Brazil right now, but here I am. The gates were closed, like there's no planes going there. So I haven't seen my family in a year. That's
wow. And so you're in Santa Barbara?
Yes.
And are you living alone by yourself?
I live with my friend. She's also Brazilian, and she couldn't go visit her family either. So right now we are just here, like taking summer classes and staying in Santa Barbara, and that's all we can do now.
Right. And you're able to Skype with your family or Zoom or whatever?
Not that much, because like because of the virus, well, that's the situation. In Brazil, it's pretty bad right now. So like my parents went to the farm to get somehow isolated and like to protect themselves because of this. And so because of this, I cannot call them or contact them because of the internet.
Right.
There is no means to do it.
Right.
So only when they go to the city and they have Wi-Fi, so I can call them like WhatsApp or whatever.
So that's a very big change for you.
Yes, it is.
And it's I'm glad that you have your friend that you can live with.
Yes, I am very thankful for that.
And it's hard because the interactions are very limited.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that things opened up, but I just heard yesterday Governor Newsom for California is closing all the bars, recommending that the bars all be closed because of the community transmission of the virus. So let's just do a little, we'll do a little hand showing. So you guys on Zoom, if you look at the bottom of your screen, you can see that you can do a reaction, which is thumbs up or clapping. And then over in the participant window, if I ask a question, you should be able to say yes or no, right? Do you see that over on the right-hand side? If you click on participants at the bottom, you can see on the bottom of your screen, it says yes, no, and you can give some clear voting. So I'd like to just do a quick note of how many of you joined today from the email, and just say, I joined from email, yes. I did not join from email, no. So I can see how everybody did. Okay, excellent. So Gabriella, oh, you did join from email. Okay, did anybody join a different way? So Mara, you joined from the email that I sent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I need to fix the link in Canvas so that we can just go there and it will take us right to this page. Because we have additional security, there's passwords and different kinds of things. And then somehow that link just took us directly to the website, and I had that problem too. And then I would sign in and then I'd be on a different screen than I was supposed to be on. So,
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll figure this out. I had thought that for many people, what I can do is on Monday and Wednesday, I'll do the lecture Monday, Wednesday on Zoom. And then because we're scheduled 4 days a week, on Tuesday, Thursday. On Tuesday, I'll have office hours on Zoom, so anybody can come. We can have open questions. You can make an appointment during that time. We can go to a breakout room. We can do anything like that. I'll also have office hours. And this is all in syllabus, but I'll have office hours directly after Zoom from 11 to 12. And then there are a number of people who've emailed me that cannot make this time, which is completely expected because it is an online class. So our lectures on Monday, Wednesday will be recorded, and then those will be posted so that you will also have access to those if we happen to go over material too quickly. And then on the Tuesday, Thursday timeframes, there's certain things that we're going to do. For example, tomorrow we will, for our lecture, be watching a video called In the Heights, the making of the Broadway musical. And it's not the musical, but it's how they actually got to Broadway, because we're talking about making a play. How do you make a play? So it's a really fun video presentation, and it's already in your Canvas, and we'll go through and look at all that so that you can see how that works. Okay.
Cool.
And then there's some assignments. So we're going to go through and we'll talk about Canvas because it's a pretty, such a dense, it's called a learning management system. All this stuff that I'm, having to now embrace with such glee. And it's amazing because we actually have the very best faculty resource center, and they're really doing their best to train us. And I think that, some people are just very adept at learning all of those kinds of technical things. So that's not me. It's quite overwhelming, but we'll do the best we can. So I want to show you the, just a second, we're going to talk to Gabriella for a second. Maybe I need to send her a chat. She keeps getting kicked out. Gabriella, you keep getting kicked out. Are you having is it on my end or your end, do you think?
I think it's on my end, but I think I just fixed it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. I just saw that you were having trouble, so I just wanted to double check with that. Okay. I'm going to show you a few things about Canvas. Let me get my page set up and we'll take a look at that. So we'll go to, here we go. All righty. So I will screen share now and you can see what, you know what? I will go from your viewpoint. Let me do student view just a second, please. There we go. So that we can all look at the same thing. You guys don't need to look at it. This is how your screen should look. And then I'll try and keep, yeah, I can keep that up. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. I was gonna share our screen again. All righty. So now you can see, maybe you have your participants on the right, and this is the way Canvas looks. You'll see that this is my toolbox for Zoom, so you're going to see that on the top. If you go to the home page, this gives you the opening of our course. There's a little to-do list on the right-hand side, and I will put announcements in. But let's first start with our land acknowledgement, and this is recognizing that Santa Barbara City College is on the land that was, as we say, the traditional custodian. So would someone like to volunteer to read that? You can raise your hand, you can say no, or you can say I will, or anything like that. Don't have to.
I will.
You will?
I will.
Okay, Bailey, excellent. I would, you know, if I was in face-to-face class right now, I'd give you a gold star
Thank you.
for
Okay.
volunteering. Good job. If you can volunteer, it helps you get over that fear. So let's just all read this together. We can just look at it. It's called the Land Acknowledgement. And go ahead, Bailey.
Okay, before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the
Chumash.
The Chumash people who are the traditional custodians of this land. We pay our respect to the Chumash elders, past, present, and future, who call this place, the land that Santa Barbara City College sits upon, their home. We are honored to be guests on this land and are proud to continue their tradition of coming together and growing as a community. We thank the Chumash community for their stewardship and support, and we look forward to strengthening our ties as we continue our relationship of mutual respect and understanding.
Thank you very much. I think it's really important that we recognize the Chumash people for what they've done. There's a beautiful there's a beautiful plant garden at the mission that has some of the traditional Chumash medicinal plants in it. If you'd like to go up there, I mean, one of the things that we can do in this time is you can be with yourself or whoever you're quarantining with. Although I wouldn't say go to the Mission Garden, it's a little bit overrun with people. But next to the actual building itself, there is, if you go to keep the parking lot on your left and walk straight to the building, there's a very small little garden, and each of the plants is identified as to the Chumash use of it. So it's quite interesting. Okay, going down our page, here's some resources at SBCC. This is a link you should click on so that you can really see some of the things that they're offering. And also it gives you the way to access tutoring and other kinds of news. You know that there's a food share on the West Campus. It takes place on the West Campus. They have it different ways. You can actually pick up food. There are notices. They should be sent to your email. Usually it's the first Wednesday of the month. So it's completely free. Anybody can participate. We have an academic counselor for theater, Carmen Rivera, and you can make an appointment. But now, one of the things that I think is an advantage, sorry if you can say an advantage to going online, is you can all make appointments to go see a counselor, right? You don't have to go wait in line and just be whoever's next. You actually get to have an appointment, and I think that's really fantastic. You also have health services available to you, and that comes with your health fee, and you can meet the nurse for telehealth or mental health and have up to 6 mental health counseling appointments per semester. So feel free, it's already included, so you may as well take advantage of that. I think it's a really great resource that we have here at City College. I will fix this link right here. And I am really excited that you chose to take a class in theater. I came to theater sideways. I honestly did not have a plan to go into theater at all. I thought I was going to be a doctor and ended up having to work my way through school. My parents, I'm one of 6 kids, so my parents didn't pay for us to go to school. And I just went and looked for a job. And I went to the job board at the school, and they said costume house, and it was a very small town, like about a little bit smaller than Santa Barbara. They had one little costume rental house for Halloween. So I rode my bike out there and I interviewed for the job, and I said, well, I can sew. And you know, that was basically it. I played dress up as a kid. And so I actually got that job and started as just working in a costume rental house. And then I auditioned for a musical and I think one of the reasons I was cast is because I'm 6 feet tall. You can't tell from sitting down, but so I'm very tall, and they were doing a musical called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. And there's these courtesans. It's a Roman comedy in a contemporary, set in contemporary, but it's pretty funny. And so one of the courtesans is a woman named Gymnasia. She's typically tall, athletic, and so I guess she's supposed to be an Amazon. And that was one of the things I had to grow up with as a kid, is because I've been 6 feet tall basically since I was 12. I got called the Jolly Green Giant, Amazon, whatever, and I thought, okay, great. They want me to do that, I can do that. So it was really interesting. I had been a singer for quite a while, and toured when I was 16 with a singing group. And so I knew I had that part. I had auditioned. They cast me in this play, and we had someone come, and this person presented drawings of what they thought each character should look like. And I was amazed, because I had been sewing. I had been working in this little costume shop, and so I knew about costumes. I didn't have any idea about theater as a kid. I really never went to theater. I remember going to like 2 movies. We didn't even have a television. So, it was like, what did I know? And here's this guy coming with these drawings of, here's what you're going to look like. And so then I helped work on those. And then we were in the play, and I just thought, but this is such a different world. Well, that probably sounds completely foreign or unfamiliar to everyone, because you guys have everything on your phone. And that was just a very different time period. So can you imagine growing up, without a television, without any kind of media, without a cell phone, without email, without anything? I'm in the dinosaur era just about, because the first book that I wrote, we didn't even have email. We didn't even put emails into the book. We discussed it, said, well, should we put in emails? They're so new. It's like, that's not really, is it something we're really going to embrace? And so, things have changed. And then I realized that with theater, you build a community. When you're working on a production, you're working with people that become your family. And that's the case, whether it's a theater performance, whether you're on stage or working backstage. It's also true if you're working in television or you're working in film. They tend to build community. You work long hours, but you're telling a story. Everyone is really engaged and backing that story, so that you're all focused with one specific purpose. And then sometimes with that, out of one production, you can make friends for life. So if you're working on a movie and you're there for 6 months, or you're working in a play and you're there for 3 months, or you're working on a television show and maybe your television show recurs for a couple of years, you end up having a pretty good community. And that's something that I encourage people to do when they first come to college, because even if you don't want to be a theater major, you can still work backstage. You can still be a dresser or run props, or maybe you're really highly organized and you would rather get into the stage management end, or maybe you'd like to audition and be an actor. And all of that stuff is completely open. And at Santa Barbara City College, everyone has the opportunity to audition. We fully encourage every single person to come. And there's absolutely no prerequisite, and you get units for it. So, it's a kind of a cool thing. But anyway, there's that. So after almost 50 years of being a performer / whatever, I still love theater. I fairly quickly decided that I wasn't, after about the first maybe 10 years, I decided I wasn't going to be a performer. And I didn't like that competition. I didn't want to be, that didn't charge me up going on stage. I was that kind of person, like, okay, yeah, go, and I had this certain skill set. But anyway, just take that with a grain of salt. Here are some images from the reconstructed Globe Theater that we'll talk about when we talk about Shakespeare. This is more like the Roman Colosseum, and one still shot from Hamilton. So you guys can read this stuff on your own. And again, this is all in Canvas. Down at the bottom, you can see about your instructor and course Q&A. This link I don't have. We do have learning modules, and I'm not quite sure why it's not working, so I'll go get some help. So this just tells you a little bit about me. This is a place where you can put a question about the class, and we'll try and answer it. So let's go to the course overview first, and you can take a look at this. I try to include images so that you can see a wide variety of things. This is actually a production that I designed right here off of my website. You'll see that. And this tells you about our class. What is it that theater is about and how it's laid out. These are the course learning objectives that you will assess and evaluate components of dramatic literature as a means of interpreting plays. We're going to read 4 plays. One of them's 9 pages long. So that's the first one we'll read. We'll to be able to talk about that. And then we're going to read a classic, Oedipus, which is a Greek play, has influenced the world. It was written 2,500 years ago. We still read it. Of course, we're reading a translation because I've never read Greek. And then we'll read a modern, what was considered the modern drama, A Doll's House. And then we'll also read The Tempest from Shakespeare. And we'll be using The Tempest for really the last half of the course to also discover what does a director do, what does a stage manager do, how do the designers work. So this class really gives you everything about the whole breadth of theater, from here's the origin, here's what a play is, here's how you interpret a play, and here's how you perform a play, ending in a play performance with an audience. So that's the big overview. You'll distinguish between the play as literature and the play as the basis for performance. We use the same play and we look at it. Oedipus lasting 2,500 years, or The Tempest written in 1600, lasting 400 years and 420 years. That sort of longevity establishes it as literature. The play as a basis for performance is, how are we going to have this play be, as we say, put on its feet in front of an audience, and the meaning is clear for today's audience. Why would we do this play today? Why are we still reading these? Does it have any relationship to who we are? Okay, we want to be able to differentiate between and assess the various crafts used to create a theatrical performance: acting, directing, design, and production crafts. So you'll be able to, at the end of this course, know what each of those component parts is, how they actually break the play down to create a performance, and see if one of those may or may not have some affinity to what you would like to do. Also, to identify and describe the significance of theatrical terms and techniques as it related to all forms of theater production. So we'll talk about certain kinds of terms, and one of those you'll see that I have put in here. Wait a second, I think it's right here. No, but I was going to say, if the curtain goes up, and that's a curtains up is one of our terms that we use. So this will be work for all of us. I'm doing a lot of work to try and figure out the best delivery system for you, and hopefully a lot of fun. Theater is hard work, but it's sort of like you love it so much you don't care, and you're working for the same story, and the story is very important. It's all about deadlines and opening night, and you're getting ready because an audience is waiting. So if you're not ready, your audience is disappointed, or your audience isn't really very patient if you are supposed to have your curtain start at 8 and you're not ready till 8:30. So that doesn't work very well. And also there is an excitement that's generated by the interaction of live performers and live audience that is not mimicked in any other place. So we'll talk about that with our script. But the live performance of actors enacting a story in front of a live audience, and the story's unfolding in real time while we're sitting there, is something that cannot be duplicated with film, with reading a novel or any other kinds of entertainment delivery. So I think that's important to remember. Here's our grading scheme. We're going to go over that in depth in the syllabus. And then here are a couple of pictures of Curtain Call. This is Phantom of the Opera. And here's a curtain call that looks a little more contemporary. And here's a traditional, this is confetti. We're not throwing water on him. We're giving him confetti. So let's see what's next. And so you can just use your bottom arrow buttons to go from there. Oh, and then you come to about the instructor. This gives you a little bit of information. Look how long my hair is. I just took that picture in my closet because I was wearing something that someone gave me. And I thought, oh, I have to put a picture. So that's since we haven't been able to go to the hairdresser. I did work in film and television for 25 years before I came back to teach at Santa Barbara City College. The last thing that I did before I came back was The Artist. And this won the Academy Award for Best Picture and for Best Costume Design. And I was the assistant designer with designer Mark Bridges. I also was the assistant costume designer on Vampire Diaries for 3 years. So those were some pretty fun things that I was able to do, as well as just do other TV shows, films, and I always kept my hand in theater. There's very little educational work in film. There's just a few places that offer costume design for film. Most people have a theater degree. And I am currently the chair of the United Scenic Artists Local 829 Western Region Board. Here's how you can get a hold of me. You can call and leave a message on my phone. You can email me through the campus inbox or through my pipeline. And I actually have a physical office on campus if we ever get back there, and we might. So if we do, please come and see me in the fall. Here's some resources for you guys. The Writing Center. Here's our top frequently requested resources from this class. The plays online, the play performance report, which is something we'll do with live, we'll be seeing live plays online. Right now, we're really lucky because we have some great ones that are available. And then our project outline for the Tempest project, which is our whole final thrust of the last part of the class that will take us through getting, as we say, from page to stage. This is the question and answer period. So this is a picture of Spelling Bee. If you have a question, getting her little helpers. Post any questions you have about the course in this discussion and check here in case somebody's answered it. And we'll try and keep that thing going for us. Oh, whoops, I didn't want to do that. Gotta go back to student view. Shoot. I think I can only do that from home, so hold on a second. Here we go. I meant to go to next and I did leave student view, so. Okay. Announcements is a place where I will put in something that's very current. So this is, I posted this morning, as you can see. This is about Chromebook checkout. If you, I don't know if we'll talk about this in a second. Remind me to ask you about the Google form, if you filled that out or you were able to. So you can check out Chromebooks and mobile hotspots for summer 2 sessions. So if you don't have reliable Wi-Fi, you don't have a device, or you only have a phone, and it would be easier for you to do things on Chromebook because there's some writing that we have to do, then absolutely run over and get a Chromebook. So today you can do that from 11 to 4, and it looks like tomorrow and through Thursday, 11 to 4 a.m., you can check out a Chromebook. And then again, next Friday, next Tuesday, remember that Friday's a holiday. Technically the holiday for 4th of July is going to be celebrated on the 3rd, and then we'd have 4th of July on Saturday. So here's where you do it: at the entrance or behind Luria Library, walk or drive via the Fire Road. You guys know where the Fire Road is?
No.
Have you ever seen that? Okay, if you cross the bridge, the walk bridge between East and West Campus, and you look down at the road, that's Loma Alta. but you'll see a fire road that goes up beside the library there. And you can look at this map and that will help you get there, okay? So I'll post announcements, for example, when we have a play that we can see online and they're a live performance that's been captured. They're generally available for sometimes only 72 hours and sometimes for a week. And they're the very best plays that are available. So let's be aware of announcements or where I'm going to do that. Here's the people in our class. You can go to people and you can see everybody's name and you can see if you know anybody in class. Click on their name and send them an email and say, hey, want to see you. Very excited to share the same class with you. And even if they aren't here, maybe you can bring them some information from the online class, the Zoom class, and they can bring you some information about how they cope to do the online class. All right, let's go to the syllabus. So this is the introduction to the course syllabus. This is the text portion, and we have also a schedule portion. This is an inclusive environment. My goal that this class is a safe place and offers freedom of creative expression for you. Theater in practice and performance is a place of storytelling. Every individual story is valuable, and we can each learn so much from listening to one another. I welcome each of you, encouraging you to bring in your cultural heritage and stories, especially with respect to race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, disability, age, veteran status, citizenship status, socioeconomic status, religion, and past history. I recognize that I come with my own perspective. I look at each person as an integral part of the mosaic that collectively we are building together. Every class is unique and strengthened by your personal narrative. I'm delighted that you're taking this class. Theater builds community. Please let me know, and this is absolutely sincere, let me know if there's ever a time when my teaching is not inclusive to you so that I can improve. If there's a time when you feel unsafe or your learning is adversely affected by an outside experience or an inside experience, please let me know. So this is when we meet online every second. And then I'll correct this Zoom link, okay? You can email me through the Canvas inbox. You can also email me on regular email. All of that works. I can even pick up my messages remotely, but I'll have to remind myself how to do that. Okay, here's the textbook. Showing you a picture. This is what it looks like. And this is Theater, A Way of Seeing by Millie S. Behringer. And this happens to be the 7th edition. I had somebody email me and say, could you use a different edition? Absolutely, you totally can, not to worry about that. And we will be reading these different plays. Links to the required plays are provided in course modules so that you can have them for free. There is a book called The Pocket Full of Plays that they have some at the bookstore that carries Trifles, Oedipus, and A Doll's House, if you prefer to read it that way. So each week there's an online discussion for participation. That's through the town hall. And we also have discussion, not the town hall, but we have discussion sections, and you'll see that. We did our objectives. This is what the course description is. Please read through the student learning outcomes. You will critically analyze the basic components of a written play: plot, character, thought, diction, music, and spectacle, and develop a coherent interpretation of the play's action. And we do a little project called Headlines to Page, and that'll be next week. You will select a headline that speaks to you, that has some sort of compelling interest to you, and then you will bring that to class, and we'll develop these basic components in a group. So we'll do a group. Hold on just a second, I'm gonna stop share. I think I got an email from William. I'm wondering if he's gone. Here we go. So, okay, questions so far?
Yes, what is the name again of the book that has all the three first plays?
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me tell you that, and I will
Mhm.
post that online. Let me
Okay.
just give it to you right now. It is called The Three Plays That We Work Are in It, and that
Mhm.
is, it's a play anthology, a pocket full of plays, a vintage drama. I can post it in the chat. Just a second,
Yes. Thank you.
so you can have that. Okay, so if you're interested, let me see, did I get everything in there? So there's the play, the way a play anthology, a pocket full of plays, vintage drama, and the bookstore has a few of those, I'm sure.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you so much.
Of course. Any other questions?
Mm.
So we're going to finish this one little section, and then I'd like to go around the room with people who are here and have you guys introduce yourselves. And if you are uncomfortable with that, we can turn the recording off during that time if you'd like. So let me go back to where we were. I hope everything is still the same on the screen. Okay. So the headlines to the page will be one where you actually pick the story that you want to tell, that you think speaks to you, and then we'll work through these components of a written play. How do we find a play? That's like, how do we find the story that is meaningful and compelling to give us a play? The second outcome is describe the process of bringing a play from page to stage, citing the various artistic and craft personnel involved in the collective theatrical process and the unique contribution that each makes to the final production. And we'll do that through the work of The Tempest. Evaluate how theater contributes to society and addresses our individual aspirations and concerns as a human being. And you'll be doing that evaluation by looking at these live performances that we're going to watch online, and you'll do your play performance report, which includes a play analysis, a little bit of a play analysis. There's a very specific proscribed way that we go through that. And then analyze the origins of selected classic and contemporary theater forms, evaluate their impact on social, cultural, and aesthetic perspectives. So we're going to go through Oedipus, and you're going to actually see a hand-drawn story of Oedipus, which I think will tell you everything about it. But are any of you familiar with Oedipus at all?
Yes.
Yes?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go back.
Um,
Who is familiar? If you are, you can say, just click the yes. And
yes.
if you're not, no problem. Okay, great. Fabulous. Fabulous. So it is truly a classic story, and when we talk about the story, you'll be amazed that it's 2,500 years old, and it just shows you that human beings have not changed so much in that time period. So we're going to pause. Okay, I'm going to start screen sharing again with our student view. I want to talk about the way that the method of evaluation. So we have these online participation discussion points. There will be 5 discussions. They're each worth 10 points. There will be some prompts with those. We'll talk about those in a minute. I'll show you how they work. And there's something, I've given you a prompt and I've given you some material to look at, and then you will write a discussion, and then after you post, 2 other people can post in response to what you say. Your original post is worth 10 points, and then your response to 2 other people is worth 5 each. There will be 300 points of assignments. These are assignments that you can do really on your own time. And there are several things that are 50 points. So I'm going to talk about a couple of those. The 3 questions assignments that are related to the plays. So Oedipus, Tempest, and A Doll's House each have a question assignment that's related to the play specifically that are worth 50 points apiece. The 2 play performance reports are worth 50 points apiece. So those are pretty much writing assignments. Oh, I remember what I was going to write down. Sorry, hold on. Hold that thought. It's about our theater space photo assignment. Okay, thank you. And then there are other assignments, for example, the theater space photo assignment, which is when we're going to try and find an alternative theater space. And you can either describe it or you can take a photo of it. There's the headlines to the page. So that's a 25-point assignment. So those in general just add up. But so it's things that you can really control. The quizzes there are 10 quizzes and it says 100 points. Technically there are 113 points, so you get 13 extra credit points. There will be 10 of them. They are open book and you can work on them for up to an hour. So it should be fairly straightforward based on your reading. One note about the reading, if you're working with a different edition than the 7th edition, I'm going to go through the course and make sure that I indicate the chapter title in case the chapters in the other editions are titled something different. So they may be slightly different. I just wanted to alert you to that. The midterm is a multiple choice. Online, we'll do it with Proctorio midterm, 100 points. Your final is a take-home midterm. A take-home final. You can we'll publish it. You take it home, you can fill it in. And the final project is related to the Tempest, and that's going to be a presentation, and you're going to work in a group. The headlines project is a group project, and the Tempest project is a group project. We'll have a couple of ways that you can work as a group. You can work and go through Google Slides. You can Zoom each other as a group, or I can help facilitate a Zoom if you want to do that. We'll also have a time during class where if we are in Zoom, we can we can do breakout rooms and you can work as a group. There are some people, for example, we have one of our members is in Europe. So, she'll never, and she may or may not be joining us with Zoom, but just anyway, there will be a lot of variety about how we meet, how you connect with each other, and how we do group projects, but we will be doing some group projects. Theater is a collaborative art, and we need to be able to work with each other. I now have to submit things if I'm working with a director in New York, or I worked with a director that was in Great Britain and coming here. So we're sharing things back and forth via Dropbox and other kinds of methods. So we'll just explore all those ways of communication any way we can. This just tells you how to put your papers in. I'm going to also give you options of doing oral reports or video reports. So that's it. Oh, this is when I said that, due dates. We're in theater. When you miss a due date, the curtain doesn't go up, the stage is dark, the scenery isn't painted, or the actor doesn't know the lines. Please submit on time. However, if something comes up, let me know. You can always submit a late assignment. It's always better to submit an assignment than to miss an assignment. Assignments will generally be graded. Oh, that's a misspelling. And feedback given by the Wednesday after the assignment's due. And boy, that would be a real stretch for me because that's not my forte, and I'm letting you know right out front. That's why I put it in there. I have decided for the first time to try and do the A minus, etc. I do things just based on points, not on percentage, so you should know exactly where you are. The class has 800 points, so you can also get extra credit points. I'll give you, you can get up to, I think, 10%, so that would be 80 points. And just so that you know, but if you're in this point range, this is what your grade is going to be. Nothing mysterious about that. And then criteria, clarity of writing and thought. Just try and be as succinct as possible and careful with your writing. This accuracy of writing and thought, this is important, particularly in our question things when you need to use a dialogue out of the play to justify one of your answers. Please make sure that you can just copy and paste it. That's why I put the plays online so that you could do that. And you can also use line references. Validate your views using current theoretical and empirical literature. Creativity of thought. I just love the way people think. And I think that everybody has an idea about how things can go about it. I have 4 kids, but you know, they'll say, oh, there's nothing left to be invented. And it's like, are you kidding me? There's so many new things. So if you have something that somehow like works for you, or you've got an idea about something that we're talking about, but you're just coming from a different direction, please share it, because I find that that's the way we learn from each other. I think that one of the things that COVID is going to teach us, and this whole pandemic thing, is we are going to have to change what we were doing with our lives, how we were doing our lives, how we were going about it, because there's not going to be returning back to normal. And we're going to have to figure out what the new normal is and how we're going to do things. So just bring those thoughts in. I mean, you guys are the next generation. That's where we're going to come from. So I'm very excited about that. Complete your assignments on the due dates. Make it your own course content. Just like figure out what the best way is for you to hook into the class and contribute to each other's learning, knowledge, and growth. Just bring in, be fearless about what your ideas might be. Because, you know, the whole idea of the touch screen phone came from the movie Minority Report, because they put those big screens up and started moving things that way. And they thought, maybe we can do this. That would be so exciting. I'll never forget, I went to the Stanford Conference on Design. It was a symposium that happened for 3 days every year. And when I was doing my graduate work, my instructor said, well, you know, why don't you go to this? You know, I've been a couple of times. It's sort of interesting. You know, sometimes it'll be a guy that's a boat designer, or there'll be a different designer. It's just like literally the Stanford Conference on Design. So I don't know why I went to this one thing, and here were these 2 guys. And they're talking about, well, you know, we are kind of doing this little thing in our garage, and we're putting these computers together. And it was Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. It was when they were going to introduce the Mac computer. So that tells you how long ago I was in grad school, in the 70s. But it was phenomenal to just see, we're just trying to figure out, how can we make this more user-friendly, and how can we make it smaller, and how could we do this? And so we were just kind of fooling around with this thing. And that's why I think ideas that you have, bring it, because we can all learn from that kind of stuff. This is just, you know, A, B, C, and D, academic honesty. This is so important. The work that you do is your own, and just it has so much more value than taking something from somebody else. And of course, there's always going to be times when you'll want to quote somebody. So just make sure that you quote them appropriately, whether it's taking something out of a review, out of a newspaper, a magazine, an online thing, a news source. I mean, it's so easy to get information now. You know, you don't have to go to the library. I was talking to 2 friends and on Zoom, because they're down in LA. And one friend who's a costume supervisor on Scandal, I think it is. No, not, what's the Shameless? She was on Scandal for the whole many years they were doing. Now they're on Shameless. But anyway, they're of course not working. And she said, so I started rewatching some of the Murder, She Wrote. And she said, you know, none of those things would work the way that they work now. The fact that you're leaving a message on an answer machine, that you have to go to the library and research to get phone numbers. So now this goes to the academic honesty thing. It's so easy to get everything online. And then just one other note about online, just be aware that online resources are only as good as the person that put them there. So read everything with a slightly suspect eye, and just double check that whatever the facts are, you're getting them from more than one place, because you never know if you're actually reading a real thing or what someone's opinion is, and try and disseminate the 2. If you are a student with a disability, or you have you're enrolled with DSPS, please let me know. If you're Spanish language, please let me know. And here's some cool things that we're going to start out with right now. I'm going to prepare a lecture on the theater and the society and an essential link, and let's take a look at this. And it's working. Woo! So this is just a to-do list. Don't pay any attention to this date. You have to put a to-do date in there to make it populate the Canvas site. So this is an overview. That's why I put these guys peering through masks. And we're going to cover the essential link this week between theater and society, the making of Broadway, how to read a short play, and we'll do a discussion on the video In the Heights, which is the making of the video of In the Heights. So we'll review the week 1 lecture presentation, the chapter you'll read in this book. Chapter 1 and 13. This book is pretty easy to read. If you don't have it yet, I'll just show you that it is visual. Every single page has not like an online class, all different kinds of information and photos of the people that are talking and of whatever the scene is or whatever the thing is they're talking about. They have a lot of visual materials in here. So I read through the chapters and tried to give you enough time to do it. Bailey.
Well, maybe I missed this, but is that available online? That book?
Yeah, actually somebody said they're renting it online.
Okay.
So yeah, you can get it online. You can get it at Amazon.
Okay. Is there a link to that?
You know what? Let me put one in.
Thank you.
That is a very good thing. And also, I think I can even link it to our bookstore and they can send it to you.
Great. Okay.
You know,
Yep.
So I'll check on that today for sure. Again, I never had to start a class online before. So, you know, it's like, yeah, you can go get it. But most people are just like, oh yeah, I got it this way or this way or this way. So you're going to watch the video of In the Heights, Chasing Broadway Dreams. And this is the story of how they actually made the play, how they got the story, how they workshopped it, and then how they finally went to Broadway. It's really less than 60 minutes, so it's pretty fun. And you'll just have to, it's in 10-minute segments, so you can stop it. But they're also making the movie of it right now. And they're also making they filmed Hamilton. So I'm going to try and get Hamilton. I don't think we'll get the movie of In the Heights. So then we're going to have a group discussion based on the Chasing Broadway Dreams video, and that will be in the discussion link. There will be a quiz, which I'll open. It'll be the 10-point quiz based on the first chapter, and you'll complete it. They're open for about 1 week, and I have to get the timing on that because we can't open them before the class starts. So anyway, you'll just see. You're going to read Trifles, which is a 9-page play, and answer the questions about it, and then you'll upload that little answer paper to me for grading. Good? Now let's see. We're on the end of the syllabus. Oh no, we're right here. Oh, I see. Okay, let's just see. Does this take us to the very next thing that's on the syllabus link? Okay, yeah. So this is the discussion. This is Lin-Manuel Miranda, and this is the instructions for discussion. Please watch all 6 parts. It's linked right here. And hopefully, we'll try that link out because I'm in Student View, we'll just try it out. And then you're just going to answer this question. Why was it so important for Lin-Manuel Miranda to tell this story? Cite any sources. You can use 2 quotes. Use 2 quotes from this little performance thing. And then you're going to post and do a reply. And then please follow the student guide if you have any questions. And let's see if this works. What do you guys think? Want to? So this will take us to...
Next, on Great Performances, follow the journey from the barrio to Broadway with the Tony Award-winning musical In the Heights. Composer-lyricist Lin-Manuel Miranda leads a dynamic cast of newcomers as they chase their dreams and make Broadway history.
Okay, great. So now let me see if I can get back to Canvas. Okay, we're just going to stop share. That'll help. All right. So one thing is that you can see that you're not actually going to see the play, the musical. You're going to see how they actually did it and how they go through all of their different things and meet some of those actors that are in there. I think that'll be really fun. So that gives us that. And then you can see how you can follow that discussion stage. Now let me get back to this and see if I can move it around to, there we go. So you don't have to look at me clumsily moving things around. We can just try this. And yeah, okay, so I'm going to show you this actually. I mean, you guys are probably so much more adept than I am at this. It's, you know, I feel, as I am a dinosaur, I really can't, I'm not as facile, but I realize actually that I am more than many. So that's pretty interesting. So here, if we're here on this screen, then get rid of that thing. Go away. There you go. This is the tab that opened to show us the video. Then I can go right back to the red canvas marker and get back to this screen where I was, so that you can then type this up in your own thing and then you can upload it. And if you need to know how, oh, that's a discussion thing, sorry, not an upload. So if you need to upload, there's little Canvas tutorials, and we're going to talk about that next. You're not going to do that assignment yet. Okay, we're going to go back to modules. Now, here's some information, and this will be interesting to see what's here actually. So your course begins here. This is the overview, resources, Canvas guide. Let's go here. These are some great materials for you to review, and you can access our tutorials on Canvas. It'll take you just under 13 minutes to review all of these, each one of these, how to do a discussion, how to do assignment submission, how to do quizzes, and how to access grades. So they're like 3 minutes a piece. You can just learn that. It's super helpful. And they're accessible from the help icon located in the lower left hand of the window. So that's down here, okay? And anytime you need help, just go there, but they're also right here in the modules so that you can answer these questions like, how can I use Canvas on my mobile device? You can sign in from anywhere. So that's just a really important thing to happen. Modules is where you can go through week by week, because down here you'll see week 1, that's actually going to start tomorrow. But there is additional Canvas support guides here. So you can fill out the support form, and also you can get additional help by calling the school, and you can get help through Canvas on here, okay? Sometimes, here, let's just click the button so you can see. You know, there's a lot of, you can do Canvas tech phone support, search Canvas guides, ask your instructor a question, SBCC, any of these learning resources, writing center, which I've also done, any of these things are really super helpful. So you can feel free to, that's one of your assignments for today, is to please check out this whole Canvas issue. And then you do actually have an assignment, which is by tonight, actually due by 12 o'clock tonight. So it's available until July 27th. So you have plenty of time. But the thing is I want you to do this so that before you go on to the next question, the next section, you feel very comfortable about uploading an assignment, doing that. So just create a document that includes your preferred name, whatever, you can change that as on your profile. The best way for me to reach you, if I notice that you have a missing assignment, or if I feel like I haven't seen you online for a while, so that I can help you stay on top of it. So if the City College @SBCC email isn't the best way, which is technically the way that I have to contact you. That's what Santa Barbara City College says, is that pipeline is the only way for me to contact you. Then please change to your preferred email in Canvas settings notification. That way I can type it and send it through Canvas or through your email, and it goes to wherever you want it at your destination. They can even, I think it can even send you a text to your phone if you want to. And then great job for doing that, because that's really cool. So this is really just 25 words or less. Just give me the meat, and just, you know, number one, what's your preferred name? Number two, this, and then here's the Canvas student guides, okay? And that is a little trick. Let's see if it takes us to the next module. No, it takes us there. So that's a trick, because until you finish that, this thing that says prerequisites, you won't be able to start this section because you need to submit that. And that's why it's here as well. And down here, I really want you to have that practice so that you are really comfortable doing Canvas, because here, let's get to this one, because this is where you're going to get your student help, not from me. I can't give you help on Canvas. I am barely holding my own, and I wouldn't even call it holding my own. So this is what you want to do. And let's just take one quick look, and I'll show you how quick these are. And they're tiny, okay?
In this video, you will learn how to view, reply to, and edit discussion posts.
So
To get started, click the discussions link in course
And
navigation.
it gives you all
This
that.
takes you to the discussions index page. From
Okay, so that seems pretty easy, and that's something that you guys can do today. Okay, let me see, is there anything else that we need to look at on here? Anything that we did not cover? Starfish is a way of notifying you of if you miss an assignment, but I probably will just do it through Canvas. NetTutor is a way for you to get additional educational help. So you can absolutely click on that, and then the Canvas student tutorials. I don't know what Pisces is. Anybody know? Let's see what it is. Oh, no email address known. So there we go. All right. Let's stop screen share. Okay, thank you everybody for hanging in. Any other questions about anything? Except I need to, Pam, get your act together, right? So you can, we can just sign off now. I will make the bookstore aware of the, some people are interested in the Pocket Full of Plays, and I'll also post and see if I can get that. I'll put that also on our Canvas page in the syllabus portion, and then also maybe I can make the link to the book purchase right there, Bailey, on our Canvas, on our syllabus page, okay? All right, I'm gonna hang around. You guys feel free to leave, but if you have any individual questions or anything, just shout them out or type them to me in chat or anything if you want, okay?
Okay.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Happy Monday.
Thank you. Happy Monday.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, Katie, nice to see you. I'm glad you're going to be in Santa Barbara. Where do you live in LA?
I live in Glendale.
Oh, yeah.
Glendale.
That's not really LA, but only people from LA know that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I just say LA because that's where everyone knows. If I say Glendale, sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know where that is.
Oh, wait, is that
Yeah.
Glendora? Is that, you know, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. They're so confused. So I just say LA to clear up anything.
Right, totally.
But thank you so much. Have a great day.
You.
See you.
See you Wednesday.
Cool. See ya.
Bye, Aria. Thank you. As
Bye.
your name correctly, right?
Yeah, you're good.
That's a musical term.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a nickname.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's super fun. Are you
Cool.
in music? Are you a musician?
Uh, I did some music stuff back in middle school and before that, but I haven't really been playing piano and stuff since then. I don't know. My
Oh,
brother plays a bunch of instruments though, so.
yeah, look at this. I'll show you around the corner. Oops, let's see. There. That's the baby grand.
Nice.
That was my grandmother's, and she was born in the 19th century, seriously, like in 1892 or something like that.
Hmm.
And I went back, she lived in Michigan and when she died, she was 100. And so when she died, that was the one thing that I said I wanted. And so I had it shipped from there to Los Angeles. And now I have it here. And they had to take the part wall out to get it up the stairs. So we'll see. If I move from here, I'm going to have to do something else. Anyway, I played piano too, but I haven't done it for quite a while.
Yeah. The only other thing I was thinking of is like you mentioned that the theater like over at SBCC might like be looking for actors and other people like working backstage and stuff, and I was just like, that sounds pretty cool, but also like during COVID right now, like everything's shut down, right?
Well, this is, yeah, we should have this, good thing we're having this conversation here. What we're thinking about doing is we go back to school technically we go back August 24th. And they're going to have auditions, and we will do, at this point, unless things get desperately bad, we're going to do 2 plays in rep outside. We have a huge, have you ever been to City College campus?
Yeah, I just checked it out the other day.
Yeah, it's amazing. But the thing that you see on the homepage, that's our west lawn. And we have platforming that we can set up, and we're going to do 2 plays in rep during daylight hours.
Okay.
So there'll be, like at 2 o'clock or something on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then there'll be they'll either be like a matinee and an evening performance. And the one that we're talking about is Ken Ludwig's Sherwood, which is like a Robin Hood send-up. And then the other one is going to be kind of a musical review. So it'll be like literally anyone can audition, and it would be, I don't know, there will be, singing and maybe poetry and other kinds of things. It's going to be completely original piece.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and using some new music. So that would be interesting. And what I can do is I can get your email on the audition list. Or
okay.
if you work backstage. If you want to work backstage, that's even better, because that's where I am. And we will definitely have crews, because we'll have to basically set things up, even if the platforming gets to remain there overnight. But there will be a costume crew to help accommodate costumes. We're going to have, like, I've already set up, I'm already ordering plexi screens in between the makeup stations so that everyone's 6 feet apart. And, make sure, we have a thing called the white paper, which has been published by the union for both the United Scenic Artists Union and the IATSE, which is the International Alliance for Theater and Stage Employees, and Allied Crafts for safety.
Okay.
So we'll be following those guidelines. And then the performances would be in October. And so it's all a very big if, but we're just thinking about, maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible to do something outside. And I think that would be really exciting.
Yeah.
And October, I mean, I don't know, it's the increase in the virus right now is really distressing. And because it's just like, I guess people aren't wearing their masks. They're just, I'm kind of glad that the governor said he was going to recommend it to shut down the bars, because, you take a drink or two and then suddenly you're forgetting to have your mask, or you're touching your face, or you're too close to somebody. So, I mean, like I said, my big experience is going to the grocery store. So, I mean, I can appreciate how hard that is. So, and I just hope that we can get the virus to go down, because I think we'd have to have a certain ratio in order to be able to perform publicly. But yeah, so if you're excited, have you thought about what, if you're more interested in like building scenery, do you like to work with wood? Do you like to do painting or dyeing or?
Okay, so
idea?
I'm not 100% sure what I'd be into. Is the musical review, you said it was for like original works? Is that like things that you just like go in and audition for, or?
What I mean by that is I think what they'll do is probably take, it's not a published play. So it's not a published musical or anything like that. And maybe taking certain random songs that then the director will thread together and kind of create a story around that.
Okay.
We haven't really had any discussions, so I'm just making stuff up.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, it'll just be creating a story using music, and we'll probably have 2 pianos. We have a great musical director that will come alongside for that, and just basically telling, I think, the story of where we are right now through already some published music, possibly some original music, and then with spoken word and song. Fun.
Sounds fun, yeah.
Yeah. But all of that will be, to be determined.
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of interested because my cousin I think she's doing set design. She just moved to New Zealand because her dad did set design for the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really
That
cool.
was where they did it.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
I don't know. The last like acting thing I did was like I kind of like wrote a little play and thing and was performing for Greek Day in my like middle school in 6th grade.
Maybe so that maybe this class will be really great, because we talk about what would you need to write a play, what kind of elements would you include, and then what's the dramatic conventions and structure. And then we talk about taking a play, and once we have the script, how we move forward with that. So you'll sort of see the entire thing, and you'll think maybe one of these is exciting to you. Yeah, great. And even that little middle school experience will come in handy.
I hope so. Hopefully it's not too late to get into theater stuff.
No. I mean, I had no idea, literally, until I was working my way through college, that, oh, you can actually have a job doing this. And then after I realized that, I never went back. I never actually had a job that wasn't related to costume or theater. So I've been working, pretty much all my jobs have been related to that for the last 50 years. And that means it's kind of fun because it's an interest. So, that sort of sets the stage. It's nice. Are you living in Santa Barbara now?
Yeah, I'm living over on Mission and De La Vina.
Oh, they just did a whole bunch of construction over there.
Yeah, they're redoing the street.
Yeah, it's way better now. And so is UC Berkeley going to be online then?
So I went on medical withdrawal about a year ago, so I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to get back. Apparently it takes like a month in order for them to process all the paperwork. So I guess I'd be coming back in spring. During fall, it's mostly remote except for small, like 20-person classes at the moment. Right. And then over November, December, it's 100% remote because they thought people are going to be coming home to their families and they might get sick.
Oh, so they are doing the shortened semester idea. I think I heard about that. Some schools are doing that.
My little sister, who just got into UCSB, said that she's not going to be coming over here until January, though.
Oh, because it will be all online.
Yeah.
Well, that works for us.
Yeah.
We'll be in town. Great. Good. I look forward to getting to know you better.
Thank you.
So feel free to hang out,
Same.
talk, whatever, you know. And I think really, I mean, I really admire the fact that you've taken 3 or 4 online classes where you just actually went through the whatever typed up PowerPoint, I guess. So good for you. I'm just going to hang on because technically I'm going to just see if somebody comes into the office hour at 11. So
Okay.
I'm just going to try and I have 2 things I'm going to adjust in the assignments. I think they're a little bit weak and I can make them more. Everything has to be, you know, this thing called universal design, so that if you're sight impaired, if you use a screen reader, if you need to have everything captioned. So adding that whole layer on top of your content is really interesting. So I'm trying to adjust assignments so that they also meet those requirements. That's why I said, oh, I thought of something, but it's the theater space assignment. And I thought, well, somebody may not be able to actually take a photo. So then they would need to be able to describe the space. And so now I have to add that piece into the assignment. And also my classes are different every semester, even if I teach costume technology, which I'll be teaching in the fall. Part of the content is the same, but it usually changes based on any kind of production work that we're doing. So content wise, it's different. And I talk to these people in biology and like, yeah, you know, I'm teaching 5 Bio 101. It's like, well, yeah, you make one course, one online course, and all the sections are exactly the same. You know, there's nothing like that. If I'm teaching 3 totally different things, they're absolutely completely unique. So that's a little different, but thus we are. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
What do you
I'm
think?
glad to be taking a theater course.
Yeah, great. Adventurous. I'm just going to plug in and try and work on this little project then.
Yeah. I'm probably going to leave the meeting and get started on classwork.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
See you Wednesday.
See you later.